Why do you study all day, but still don't understand anything? The truth will shock you. Have you ever sat at your desk for hours, reading the same page over and over, only to close the book and realize you remember nothing? How many times have you pulled all-nighters, filled your notes from cover to cover, done every single assignment, only to sit in an exam and feel like you've never seen the material before? If that's happened to you, you're not alone. And no, the problem isn't that you're not smart enough. The truth? You've just never been taught how to learn. In this video, I'm going to show you how to study less, but understand more. You don't need 5 hours a day. Just 60 to 90 minutes, at the right time, using the right methods, and your results will change in just a few days. This isn't about hacks or gimmicks. These are science-backed principles used by millions of people around the world, people just like you, who finally broke out of the cycle of overworking and underlearning. Where are you watching this from? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you find this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another video on learning smarter and living better. Ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The real reason you're not learning, even after hours of studying. You've probably been there, sitting for hours, highlighter in hand, notes open, eyes locked on the page, and yet, none of it sticks. Or maybe you spent an entire week studying non-stop, only to walk into the test and feel like you were reading a foreign language. If that sounds familiar, hear me out. The issue isn't your effort. It's not your memory. It's not even your intelligence. The real problem is this: we were never taught how to learn. In fact, we were often taught the opposite. Since we were kids, most of us have been told, study harder, study more, and you'll be successful. So we did. We sat through classes, signed up for tutoring, joined study groups, watched endless videos, and still felt like we weren't getting anywhere. Here's the truth: studying more doesn't always mean learning more. In fact, studying too much in the wrong way can leave you exhausted, frustrated, and doubting yourself. Let me explain. First, your brain is not designed to absorb massive amounts of information all at once. When you cram, your brain gets overwhelmed. It's like opening 50 tabs on your computer. It slows down, crashes, and nothing works properly. You might feel like you're failing, but really, you're just working against how your brain naturally functions. Second, we're taught to study passively. We read, highlight, copy, listen, but we rarely engage with the material. We don't stop to ask, why does this matter? How does it connect to what I already know? Can I explain this in my own words? Without that deeper interaction, knowledge just stays on the surface. It's like seeing a tree but having no idea what kind of roots it has, where it's growing from, or how deep it goes. Then the moment a strong wind comes, like a tricky test question, the whole thing falls apart. Third, and maybe most important, no one ever taught us how to actually study. Think about it. In school, how often did a teacher sit you down and say, here's how to learn something so it sticks with you for life? Probably never. You were just handed a textbook and told, memorize this. There's a test next week. It's like being handed a piano and told to play a song without anyone showing you how to read notes, use your hands, or even sit properly. You could practice all day and still play out of tune. That's what most of us are doing when we try to learn, putting in tons of time without the right tools. Here's another thing nobody tells you: different people learn in different ways. Some people are auditory learners. They retain more when they hear information. Others are visual. They need diagrams and color-coded notes. And others need to do something with their hands to truly get it. But in school, we're all forced to learn the same way: sit still, take notes, memorize, repeat. No wonder so many students feel lost or think they're not smart. No. You're not failing. You're just trying to learn in a system that was never designed for you. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you watched a 2-hour movie and remembered every detail, plot, characters, lines, without trying to memorize anything? That's how powerful your brain is when it's engaged, emotionally connected, and absorbing information in context. Compare that to your school notes, black and white text, no visuals, no emotion, no connection to your life. Your brain just doesn't care enough to store that information. And that brings us to the real question: what if the way you're studying right now is the complete opposite of how your brain works best? No wonder it feels like the more you study, the less you remember. No wonder you're tired, unmotivated, and overwhelmed. So here's the first big mindset shift. To study less and understand more, you don't need more effort, you need better methods. Ask yourself: is the way I'm studying actually helping me improve every day? Am I deeply understanding the material, or just trying to remember it for a test? Have I ever studied less but retained more? If you've ever experienced a moment where something just clicked, even though you didn't study for hours, that's proof that learning doesn't have to be exhausting. And if you haven't had that moment yet, don't worry. In the next chapters, I'll walk you through simple but powerful strategies that will help you learn faster, retain more, and study smarter than ever before. Chapter 2: The 3 Golden Rules to Study Less, but Learn More. Now that you understand why studying longer doesn't always mean learning better, it's time to flip the script. Because here's the truth: once you stop trying to force your brain to work harder, and instead, start working with it, everything changes. So how do you do that? In this chapter, I'll share 3 science-backed strategies that will completely transform the way you study. They're simple, powerful, and anyone can use them, whether you're a student, a busy parent going back to school, or just trying to pick up a new skill later in life. Let's break it down. Rule number 1: study in brain-friendly intervals, aka the Pomodoro Method. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat down for 3 straight hours to study, but felt like only the first 30 minutes actually counted? That's because your brain isn't built to focus endlessly. Research shows that the average person's focus peaks at around 25 to 30 minutes. After that, mental fatigue kicks in, attention drops, and retention tanks. You're putting in time, but getting less and less back. So what's the fix? It's called the Pomodoro Technique, and it works like magic. Here's how you do it. Pick one specific task, like reviewing Chapter 2 of biology or writing a practice essay. Set a timer for 25 minutes. During this time, you do nothing else. No phone. No YouTube. Just pure focus. When the timer rings, take a 5-minute break. Get up. Stretch. Breathe. Repeat the cycle. After 4 Pomodoros, so about 2 hours, take a longer break, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. Simple. Effective. And surprisingly powerful. What's happening here is you're giving your brain time to process and consolidate the information you're taking in. You're working with your natural attention span, not against it. And you'll feel less drained, more productive, and more focused every time you return. Rule number 2: turn information into images, examples, and stories. Let's go back in time for a second. Remember when you were a kid, and you could memorize every word of your favorite cartoon, or remember an entire bedtime story, even without trying? That's because your brain is wired to remember images, emotions, and narratives. It's not wired to remember a wall of black and white text. So instead of just reading and rereading, here's how to make your study sessions more brain-friendly. Use mind maps instead of linear notes. Start with a central idea in the middle, then branch out with related topics. Use colors, symbols, arrows, whatever helps you see the connections. This activates the brain's visual and spatial memory. Come up with real-world examples. Learning friction in physics? Think about sliding a chair across a wooden floor versus a carpet. Learning economics? Apply it to your own shopping habits or a local business. The more personal and relatable it is, the more likely it sticks. Turn facts into stories. Studying history? Don't memorize events, imagine them as scenes in a movie. Who are the characters? What were they feeling? What led them to act? Even dry content can come to life when you add emotion and sequence. The trick here is engagement. Your brain remembers what it connects with. So help it connect. Here's a bonus tip. At the end of every study session, teach what you just learned out loud. Pretend you're explaining it to a friend or even a younger version of yourself. If you can explain it simply, you understand it deeply. Rule number 3, test yourself, don't just review. Now this is where most people mess up. When we're not confident about a topic, what do? We read it again. Then again. And again. It feels safe. Familiar. Like we're doing something productive. But here's the truth, passively reviewing information does very little to improve memory. Instead, you need to pull the information out of your brain. Actively. Repeatedly. Even if you're not sure you remember it. This is called active recall, and it's one of the most powerful learning techniques ever studied. Here's how to use it. After studying a section, close your book. Ask yourself, what were the 3 main points? Can I write the formula from memory? How would I explain this to someone else? Don't worry if you get things wrong at first. That's normal. In fact, struggling to recall actually strengthens the memory pathway in your brain. Once you've retrieved as much as you can, check your notes. Then do it again the next day, but faster. This is how real retention is built. You're training your brain like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Reviewing feels productive, but recalling is what truly works. So instead of rereading your notes 5 times, test yourself 3 times. You'll learn more, in less time, and actually remember it when it counts. Bringing it all together. Imagine this. You sit down to study. You set a timer for 25 minutes. You focus fully, maybe reviewing a mind map you made earlier. You pause, take a short break, then dive into practice questions, pulling everything you can from memory. At the end, you teach it back to yourself. You walk away, confident, clear, and with energy left for the rest of your day. That's the power of these 3 rules. Study in focused bursts. Make knowledge visual and meaningful. Actively test what you know. And none of them require you to study longer, just smarter. Chapter 3, How to Build a 60 to 90-minute daily study routine that actually works. Now that you know the why and the how, it's time to talk about the when and the what. Because all the theory in the world won't help if you don't know how to turn it into a simple, repeatable plan. You don't need 5 hours a day. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You just need consistency, structure, and focus, and you can get real results with just 60 to 90 minutes a day. Here's how to make that happen. Step 1. Choose your golden hour. Your brain isn't equally sharp all day long. There are certain times when it's more alert, focused, and ready to absorb information. For most people, there are 2 golden windows. Early morning, 30 to 60 minutes after waking up, your brain is well rested, distractions are minimal, and it's the perfect time to learn new material. Late evening, 8 to 10 p.m. great for reviewing and consolidating knowledge. What you review right before bed tends to stick better, thanks to how the brain processes memory during sleep. Pick one or both time slots and make them your non-negotiable study sessions. Treat them like an appointment you can't miss. Even just 30 minutes can make a huge difference if you use it well. Step 2. Follow the hard, easy review formula. To avoid burnout and boost retention, structure your 60 to 90-minute session like this. White heavy checkmark first 25 to 30 minutes. Start with the hard stuff. This is when your focus is highest. Tackle the confusing concepts, tough formulas, or new chapters you've been putting off. White heavy checkmark next 25 to 30 minutes. Switch to something easier or more familiar. Maybe review older material or do application exercises. This gives your brain a break without losing momentum. White heavy checkmark final 10 to 15 minutes. Do a quick review of what you studied yesterday or earlier in the week. Use active recall. Try to explain it out loud. No notes, just memory. Then check what you got right or wrong. This rhythm keeps you engaged and prevents overwhelm. It also mirrors how memory works: repetition plus variation plus reflection. Step 3. Track your progress visually. Motivation fades, but habits grow stronger when we see them. Create a simple progress tracker on paper, a whiteboard, or a digital calendar. Every time you complete a session, mark it with a note or a colored sticker. After a few days, you'll start to see a streak forming. And let me tell you, breaking a 7-day or 14-day streak hurts in the best possible way. It makes you want to show up again. Pro tip: set small rewards for yourself. 7 days in a row? Treat yourself to a fancy coffee or a break day. 21 days? Movie night. No guilt, just celebration. This is how discipline turns into momentum. Step 4. Rest is part of the plan. After every focused session, take real breaks. Don't go straight from studying into scrolling TikTok or answering emails. Get up. Walk. Breathe. Step outside. Drink water. Let your brain do its behind-the-scenes work, organizing, filing, and storing the knowledge you just fed it. Remember, your brain doesn't grow stronger during studying. It grows stronger after, during recovery, rest, and sleep. So respect the break. It's not laziness. It's smart learning. Step 5. Set reasonable goals and stick with them. Don't try to cram 10 chapters into one weekend. Don't create a schedule that only a superhero could follow. And don't panic if you miss a day. Start small. Be consistent. 1 topic a day, deeply understood, beats 5 rushed ones every time. Learning is a long game, and the winners are the ones who pace themselves. Closing: let's make this the last time you struggle to learn. So let's recap. You now know why studying longer doesn't guarantee better results, how to use focused sessions, visual learning, and active recall, and how to create a daily routine that's doable, sustainable, and powerful. This video wasn't about working harder. It was about working smarter, aligned with how your brain naturally learns. That's how you unlock your real potential. Now, I want to ask you, what time of day are you going to start your new study routine? Morning or evening? Drop it in the comments, I'll be reading every single one. Got a tip or method that works for you? Share it with the community, we all learn better together. And if this video helped you, here's what you can do to help others. Tap the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the bell so you never miss out on more content like this. Your brain is amazing. It's not about how much time you throw at it. It's about how you train it. So go out there. Study less. Understand more. And start making real progress, starting today. I'll see you in the next video.